The boxing world has always thrived on debates, but few arguments burn hotter than those surrounding Floyd "Money" Mayweather and Terence "Bud" Crawford. Both men are undeniable masters of their craft, yet when analysts, fighters, and fans begin stacking their résumés side by side, sparks ignite. Recently, the flames were stoked once again when Stephen A. Smith boldly declared that Floyd Mayweather isn't the greatest ever and that Sugar Ray Leonard, not Floyd, stood higher on the all-time pedestal. In doing so, he also leaned into the notion that Terence Crawford, fresh off a stunning performance against Canelo Alvarez, might have surpassed Mayweather in ways that fans never expected. For Mayweather, the criticism hit hard. After all, this is a man who walked away from the sport with a perfect 50-0 record. A fighter who sold out arenas and dominated pay-per-view in ways boxing had never seen before. But Stephen A's words cut through the accolades and hit at Floyd's very core. He claimed Floyd took the safe road, that his style was built on minimizing risks, outmaneuvering rather than truly overpowering opponents. Smith argued that, while Floyd dazzled at lightweight, his impact at higher divisions wasn't nearly as commanding. Even his most talked-about win against Canelo was brushed aside as less impressive, with critics pointing out that Canelo was only 22 years old at the time. To Stephen A, that mattered. To Floyd, it was nothing short of disrespect. Floyd, never one to stay silent when his legacy is challenged, responded with fire. He reminded everyone that respect doesn't come from family or connections, it comes from building something out of nothing. He wasn't handed anything. He carved his path with blood, sweat, and discipline. What makes him get more respect than me? Mayweather asked, clearly stung. You my next-door neighbor? You've got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication. For Floyd, it was never just about the wins. It was about the journey, the sacrifices, the countless times he fought through broken hands and relentless critics. In his eyes, that made his legacy untouchable. But the debate didn't end there. Boxing voices across the spectrum weighed in. Dawood Bey gave a balanced take, reminding fans that Crawford's performance against Canelo was extraordinary, but so too was Floyd's domination of the very same fighter years earlier. Yes, Canelo was young, but Floyd didn't just beat him, he schooled him. He made Canelo swing at shadows, missing punches while Floyd tapped him on the shoulder from behind. Bey insisted that while Crawford's victory carries its own historical weight, dismissing Floyd's greatness in favor of Crawford would be inaccurate. Each man brought something unique to boxing. Crawford brought daring aggression, a willingness to stand toe-to-toe and declare, "You can't beat me." Floyd brought perfectional artistry so sharp that opponents left the ring admitting they'd been outclassed by a master. The contrast in styles is at the heart of this debate. Crawford's fans argue that his energy, the way he not only beats opponents but breaks them down, makes him more exciting, more respected by rival fan bases. He doesn't just dodge punches. He trades them, takes risks, and still finds ways to dominate. Mayweather's approach, however, was different. His brilliance lay in making his opponents look foolish. His mantra was clear: hit and don't get hit. He turned the ring into a chessboard, always 5 moves ahead. Some critics call that safe, others call it genius. Trainer Boosie Ennis passionately defended Crawford's legacy, saying that what sets Bud apart is his fearlessness. Crawford never backed down from danger. He thrived in risk, chasing the toughest fights and emerging victorious. In his eyes, that's what greatness demands, testing yourself against the best and coming out on top. For Ennis, Crawford's place in history is already secured. He's one of the greatest, not just of his era, but of all time. Still, even he admitted Crawford could retire now and leave the sport on top. With nothing more to prove, Crawford's own trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, sees it differently. While acknowledging his fighter's Hall of Fame status, Bomac believes Crawford has a few more chapters left to write. He spoke of Crawford possibly moving up to 160 pounds, not just for belts, but for legacy. Imagine a 4-division, undisputed champion, a 6-division title holder. The mere possibility electrifies fans, showing that Crawford's hunger for history isn't finished yet. For Bomac, retirement can wait because Crawford still has the chance to do what no fighter has ever done before. For Timothy Bradley, however, the debate transcends statistics and titles. Crawford, in his eyes, represents more than just wins. He represents perseverance, courage, and the ability to defy doubt. Bradley reflected on Crawford's early struggles, including the moment in 2008 when a bullet nearly ended his life. Instead of spiraling, Crawford chose change. He chose boxing, discipline, and a future beyond the streets. Bradley believes that's why Crawford is so revered. He became an inspiration, showing troubled kids everywhere that change is possible. That discipline can save lives. But while Crawford's journey resonates emotionally, Mayweather's path to greatness redefined the business of boxing. As Oladipo described, Floyd built two personas: Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather. Pretty Boy was the fearless young knockout artist. Money Mayweather was the shrewd businessman, the defensive genius who turned fights into global spectacles. His pay-per-view empire made him more than a fighter. He became a cultural icon, the architect of boxing's new financial era. Even critics admit that Floyd's genius extended beyond the ropes. Changing how fighters approach the sport today, still comparisons are unavoidable. Robert Garcia pointed out that while Floyd never became undisputed, something Crawford and Pacquiao both achieved, his defensive mastery made him virtually unbeatable. Garcia leaned toward Mayweather in a hypothetical head-to-head, saying Floyd's timing, intelligence, and ability to nullify opponents would overwhelm even Crawford. For Garcia, Crawford is great, but Floyd was on another level entirely. Greg Hackett echoed this view, noting that when Floyd fought Canelo, he was flawless. Crawford, by contrast, fought more aggressively and took risks, but he still absorbed punches. Floyd didn't. His perfection, Hackett argued, is something history may never see again. And yet, others like Stephen A. Smith gave Crawford the edge in entertainment value. Floyd was brilliant, but Bud's style, his willingness to walk down a bigger man like Canelo, delivered the kind of spectacle fans crave. Crawford didn't just win, he gave the crowd a show they'll never forget. Veteran journalist Dan Raphael brought another perspective, saying that Crawford doesn't need to fight anymore. His accomplishments undisputed across multiple divisions. Beating elite opponents with ESF already cemented his legacy. For Raphael, Crawford risks more by continuing than by stepping away now. But the hunger of fans and the lure of history suggest Crawford might not be done yet. And so the debate continues. Is Floyd's perfection greater than Crawford's daring aggression? Is an unbeaten record more impressive than becoming undisputed across multiple divisions? Is defensive brilliance superior to offensive dominance? The answers depend on who you ask, and perhaps that's the beauty of it. Both men gave boxing unforgettable moments, and both changed the sport in ways no one can deny. The truth may be that comparing Floyd and Crawford isn't about tearing one down to elevate the other. It's about appreciating the unique greatness each brought to the ring. Mayweather mastered the art of never losing, of controlling every second with precision. Crawford mastered the art of risk, of proving he could not only beat opponents, but humiliate them, even when the odds were stacked against him. In the end, the debate between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford may never have a definitive answer. And maybe it doesn't need one. What matters is that both men gave boxing fans history, inspiration, and memories that will live forever. But now the question turns to you. Who stands taller in your eyes? Do you side with Floyd's perfect record and untouchable defense, or with Crawford's daring spirit and undisputed dominance? Should Crawford retire now and protect his legacy, or push forward to carve out an even greater slice of history? Let us know in the comments.